How's everybody today? Pete here at Spawn Fly Fish, ready for another fun fly tying tutorial. It is getting hot outside. Well, I'm not sure where you live, but I'm sure you're experiencing something where the temps are getting pretty warm. So even once in a while it's too warm to chase trout. Time to look for a different species. So today we're going to focus on carp. We are going to tie a nice carp fly. Very simple, very quick to tie. So grab your vise, grab some tools, let's have some fun. In the vise today, we do have the Ahrex FW555 in a size 10. 555, of course, being the barbless version of the 554. I'm going to start some thread here. And this is simply some olive 6/0. 140, of course, would be great. Whatever you have handy is probably going to work. This is not a very technical fly. And again, we talked about this is going to be a pretty quick one to tie. And sometimes we need those types of bugs. So I'm going to add a little bit of bead chain, the Chicone stealth chain in black. I'm using the size medium, but before I put those dumbbells on there, that bead chain, whatever you want to call it, just a little touch of super glue. And this is nice because we're already using a jig hook. So we don't have to get super crazy with any technique here. Just want to make sure we really tie in this little bit of bead chain securely and we'll be good to go. And yeah, I could move it up just a touch there. There we go. That's better. So I'm going to use a bunch of figure 8 wraps, and then I'm going to come in front and behind, figure 8 in front, behind, all that good stuff. You get it. And if this were a dumbbell, of course, you'd have to be much more diligent in these wraps. But bead chain kind of gives you a microcosm of tying on a dumbbell, in my opinion, meaning it's much simpler. Of course, you can eat up some of that space too, get some wraps going between that stealth chain and the hook itself, and then really secure all that with, again, the front back figure 8. Good to go. Those things are going nowhere, and it's just enough weight that it's going to help keep this hook point up, right? That's the key here. We want this fly to sink down and then, of course, entice a carp to come over and cover it and vacuum that thing up like carp do. So that's about as crazy as that gets. That might be the toughest thing you do with this entire fly. I'm going to get a tail going out here, but I want to keep an even underbody. So we're going to use some micro chenille. This is fluorescent red, but you could use regular red, brown, tan, worm color, whatever you think is going to work the best. You know, carp eat based off of whatever's in the water, so sometimes it's more of a vegetative sort of color. And as you can see, I'm just tying right past the flat section there, so it's just going to start to creep down that curve, but nothing too crazy, just a couple wraps, nothing to it. And then I'm going to trim this tail, and I want it longer than the hook, but not by much, because I'm going to come in after we're done and just hit that with a little bit of flame from a lighter just to really secure that back end. But I want to see the fly when it's done before I commit to how short that tail is. Again, just slightly longer than the shank of the hook you're using is going to be about right. This part, this is completely optional. I'm obsessed with Peacock sword, and so I'm just going to grab 6 or 8 of these little fibers here and cut them off with a quill. And again, this is simply for me. This is not a must for the fish, but I've had success with it, so of course I'm going to probably exaggerate what you need to do. So this is, again, completely optional. I'm just going to tie that so it's about halfway up the length of the tail. And I don't know that the fish need this. I do. I know they don't need this. Again, this is going in my box. I want it to have a little something, and that's my way of doing so. Just a little peacock sword. It makes me happy putting that into a fly. I love the way it looks in the water. Caught a lot of fish with flies that have peacock sword. So just one of those things. If it's not for you, great. If it is for you, great. Nobody's going to judge you. There's no scorecards here. Ta-da. Pretty simple so far. For the rest of this body, we're going to have some dubbing, some legs, and then just a collar of Schlappen in the front. And that's about it. We're going to be looking for, at least, we're going to have that dubbing like I mentioned, and then the legs in the middle, Schlappen at the end. But to keep this as simple as possible, painless even, we're going to do this strategically. So here I've got some dubbing. This is the Spawn Unreal Peacock. And so I'm going to create a noodle. And for this, I'm going to go back and then come forward over itself. So I'll have 2 layers of this dub. I'm going to put it on fairly thick. I'm not going for a super tight noodle, just controlled. We don't want to, get done with this and have a bunch of fibers fall right off. But we do want it fairly full. I want it to emulate the thickness of a chenille. So let's start by wrapping this back. Touching wraps, maybe a slight overlap. And you can see that peacock is going to match up nicely with that peacock sword. And let's just get back to where we started. Of course, you could do a loop, all that good stuff, but this is meant to be super quick, super simple. So now let me just get that thread in front of our back half, and I'm going to veil over some legs, and these are some barred crazy legs. I think it is clear with pearl flake, and just going to get a couple wraps. So now I've got 2 legs secured. I'm going to take the first section, or first 2, and bring them onto your side like so. These are going to be for later on my side. Keep those legs on the side as best you can. You don't want them on top, don't want them underneath, just want them coming off to the side like so. That's all there is to that. Now we can get that thread out of the way. As far as how far back these legs come, I like them to get about halfway back on that tail. And again, when this fly is sitting on the bottom, these are just going to give that extra little wiggle and movement that definitely attracts a fish. So we want to grab their attention. That's an easy way to do it. Let's go ahead before we do the front section of dubbing and tie in our Schlappen. So you can see I've trimmed out the tip there for a much easier tie-in. And this is going to sit behind the eyes like if that was a bead instead of some bead chain. This would be in the same position, if you will. So just going to get that started. One good grab, I'll tie back a few wraps, tie forward a few wraps, and that Schlappen will be very secure. And try to keep that out of the way a little bit better for you. Now I can trim that tag end of Schlappen before I get too crazy. Bingo. I'm going to get back up to right behind that bead chain. Now I'm going to do the same thing that we did on the back portion. I'm going to make a second dub noodle here. Same thickness. And we'll fill in the rest of our fly body. Again, you could definitely use a chenille for this, but of course I've got dubbing coming out the ears and I love it, so I'm going to use it. Again, Peacock Unreal Dub. You could use the Peacock Coffee if you're looking for a little browner effect. Peacock Black if you want to go really dark on it. Whatever floats your boat, or in this case, sinks your fly. All right, keep in mind these legs, we don't want to trap anything that we shouldn't trap. I was trying to sneak under it a little bit. That's all right. We'll just be attentive as we go. That chubby little body starting to get developed here. That is exactly what we're looking for. Healthy, that's the term. We want a healthy bug. There we go. So now that we've gotten that far, let's get one wrap in front of our Schlappen. Kind of bring those fibers back. I do have some water here, so I'll get my fingertips a little bit wet. Try to coax those fibers over and make them kind of married to two sides of that feather, if you will. We're just going to get a couple wraps. There's one. And this will be two. And I think that is plenty of Schlappen fiber. So I'm going to back it off a touch, get a nice clean tie off spot picked out. And there we go. Nothing to it. So now get that thread back in there, get a couple good wraps, really secure that quill. Nothing but net. Now I'm going to bring all those fibers back, get in there with a few extra thread wraps, really secure all that goodness down before we trim out our quill. Is it all necessary? I think we should build the strongest possible bugs every time we sit down on the vise. So in my opinion, yep, it's necessary for the strongest bug. Now we'll just whip finish right behind those bead chain. And there's one. Let's get a second whip finish in there. Again, building the strongest possible bug. That is the idea. There we have it. This specific fly can be used during a damsel hatch or a dragonfly nymph hatch, anything like that. It's just a generic sort of thing, but it has a lot of characteristics of bugs that are in the water. And of course that tail, it's gonna give a little worm effect, a little annelid type effect, and fish definitely know what to do with that, namely eat it. And they don't even hesitate. So when you're fishing this, even though we're talking about carp, right? It's warm out there. Don't stress out those trout if it's really warm where you're at. Go chase something different. Bass will definitely eat this. Carp, like I said, suckers will eat this. You name it, all the panfish. So there's no shortage. Definitely a huge, huge reason to tie this fly. So there you have it. I don't have a name for this thing. Just craziness on the end of your fly line that works. That's all that matters. So there you have it, folks. Time to get out there. Go catch some carp. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, by all means, please hit like. Please hit subscribe. We will see you all on the water.